Hello, everybody. Welcome to Broadway.com's Live at 5. It's Monday, January 13th. I'm Beth Stevens.
I'm Paul Wontorek.
And we're here in the studio with Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
Wait, it's my mom's birthday, January 13th. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Making it all about me. Who's here today, Beth?
Yes, it's not your mom. It's John Riddle is here from Phantom of the Opera.
Roll.
Roll. We will get to roll very shortly, but first, our top 5.
Some of our stage favorites got honored with an Oscars nomination this morning.
That's right. It's the Academy Award. It's time. It's award season. Not our award season. Not yet.
We'll get there.
Hollywood's award season, and this is obviously the big one. It was an amazing morning for Cynthia Erivo, Broadway's Cynthia Erivo, Tony winner for The Color Purple, The Color Purple, not any color purple. Anyway, she got 2 nominations.
She did.
For writing the song Stand Up from the movie Harriet, and for her leading performance. She is the one actress of color nominated this year. Now, what's really interesting is if she wins, she'll be the youngest person ever to go EGOT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's amazing. A lot of other Broadway favorites are up, including Adam Driver, of course, is up for Marriage Story. He was just on Broadway, nominated last year for Burn This.
Burn This.
Scarlett Johansson, Tony winner for, what was she? View from the Bridge.
View from the Bridge. She was also in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Yep. She was double nominated, which is pretty rare. Only like over a dozen actors have had that happen to them. She was nominated for Jojo Rabbit and Marriage Story, and what else? Kristen Anderson Lopez, and Robert Lopez nominated for Into the Unknown from Frozen 2. Unfortunately, Frozen 2 was snubbed in the animated film category, but it's the most successful animated film in the history of whatever, so they're fine. Sam Mendes, who is a theater and film director, of course, was nominated for 1917, which is also a Best Picture. Of course, it won the Golden Globe last week.
That's right.
And he's doing the Lehman trilogy on Broadway soon. And what else? Al Pacino, Tom Hanks. Are these still theater people? Yes, they are, because we hang on to people forever. We're going to hold on to John Riddle's career forever, too.
That's right. We got you, John.
The 2020 Oscars will be held February 9th at the Dolby Theater in LA and televised live on ABC. Without a host, because you know what? It was kind of cool last year to not have a host.
No problem.
And if you can't have Ricky Gervais just doing his thing, then just don't have a host. It's fine.
And we got some news that this play is headed to Broadway this year.
Cynthia Nixon has 2 Tonys for acting, and now she's going to direct a play on Broadway. Are you ready to hear about it?
She's directed off-Broadway.
She directed one play off-Broadway.
Right.
This is a landmark lesbian play, and it's called Last Summer at Bluefish Cove.
What happened at the Cove, Beth?
I'll get there. But first, I'm going to tell you who else is who's producing this play. Are you ready? This is a hit list. Ready? Ellen DeGeneres.
Cool.
Portia de Rossi.
Oh.
Lily Tomlin. Jane Wagner, and Harriet Newman Levy. So it's a
Wow.
hit parade of lesbians. Set in 1980, the play is set at Bluefish Cove. That's a surprise. A lesbian beachside haven where Lily Zielinski and her close-knit group of friends take refuge each summer to live and love freely.
God, I've been looking for a lesbian beachside haven for a year. I just can't find it.
I know. Anyway, when a straight woman named Eva wanders unknowingly into their midst, you got to know where you're walking, okay? She sends the cove into a tailspin and knocks Lil off her feet. Okay, so we don't have any casting yet, but it sounds fascinating and wonderful. We don't have dates and we don't have a venue, but we do know that Cynthia Nixon's directing.
This play wasn't done on Broadway originally.
I don't believe so.
Right,
I don't believe it's ever been on Broadway.
Cool.
But it's a 40-year-old play. There you go.
And this show just keeps getting better and better with every casting announcement.
You're talking about Assassins.
Yes.
Which is that great John Weidman. I said his name first. Stephen Sondheim musical. You can't just say the Sondheim show.
Nope,
I mean,
that's
he has
right. Sondheim hates
collaborators.
that, by the way.
Of course, it's that fantastic musical review of people who killed or tried to kill presidents.
Correct.
Yeah, and they're doing it off Broadway now, and this is a very starry production. This is at Classic Stage Company. John Doyle's directing it, so they might be playing their own accordions. I'm not sure. We just found out Ethan Slater, aka SpongeBob SquarePants, will join the cast, and he got a really great part. So he's doing the Lee Harvey Oswald / the Balladeer track.
Wow.
So it all kind of builds up to him. And he's fantastic, and he's joining Stephen Pasquale, Judy Kuhn, Will Swenson, Brandon Uranowitz, Wesley Taylor, Adam Chandler-Barat, Tavi Gevinson, and Andy G. from Tootsie. I forgot how to say his last name.
Tony nominee, 2019.
Thank you, Beth.
welcome.
I didn't prepare.
Andy G.
Anyway, it's playing April 2nd through May 17th downtown at Classic Stage Company.
This new musical has set its world premiere.
It kinda said its world premiere because we're talking about Vacation.
Broadway Vacation.
Broadway Vacation, that's right, the musical. So we've talked about this before, that it was coming, and now we know where it's going to world premiere, which is at Seattle's Fifth Avenue Theater, where many shows have started their lives, but we don't have dates or casting.
Why is that not a
or
world premiere?
thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to start there.
Well, they're doing it. This actually hasn't been
really
that long, so it's moving
happening.
along pretty quickly.
Right. Donna Fiore will direct and choreograph, and it has a book, music, and lyrics by David Rossmer and Steve Rosen.
No, we don't know. We know it's about the Griswolds, characters from the movie,
Yes.
Clark and the family. I don't think Christy Brinkley is going to be in it.
Probably
that was
not.
a great part, the first movie.
Probably not.
Christmas Vacation. I think it's a new take on those characters.
It's a new stage show drawn from the characters in the popular vacation film franchise. I'm just reading the paper.
Maybe it's like the Griswold family goes to see Phantom of the Opera.
That would work.
That would work.
That would work.
And things happen.
Okay. Stay tuned.
Yes, and I'm going to use this moment to just pat ourselves on the back for for all the exciting news that came out today.
This is very exciting. So the Broadway League, they're the people that run Broadway. They announced that Lauren Reed, who is the chief operating officer of the John Gore Organization, which is our parent company, was voted as the chair-elect of the board of the Broadway League. Pretty fancy, Lauren.
Did she have to be
So
sworn
this
in? Is
means
that
that
why?
Lauren Reed will take over the role from Thomas Schumacher, president and producer of Disney Theatrical. That'll happen at the end of Schumacher's 3-year term, which is the end of 2020. And so that's very exciting.
Mazel tov,
Congratulations,
Lauren.
Lauren. And also, this is the real back-patting part. Broadway.com has been voted once again the #1 source for out of every press outlet for Broadway fans to find out information about Broadway. And we've gotten very used to this.
Oh yeah, we're not taking it for granted though.
But
Don't
it's
get
very
too
exciting.
comfortable.
Thank you.
Basically, what happens
Thank
is
you.
they do the Broadway League does a survey of theater goers, an independent survey.
Maybe you've
and-
seen the little pencils.
Yeah, I actually filled one out this year, so I
What did
chose
you do?
Broadway.com.
Oh,
So I may have
it's
swayed the
probably
vote by
just you.
one. By one. When I went to see Beetlejuice, I was like, ooh, I got one of those things.
Thank you for being
Anyway,
transparent.
people
Me.
log on to Broadway.com to get their information on Broadway. And you know that because you're here right now. So
That's
thank
right.
you for coming. It's our 20th year.
Aw.
Yeah, it is our 20th year. My goodness.
What
well,
else?
we have first look at Soldiers Play.
Cool.
We have first look at Lucy Barton. My name is
Right.
Lucy Barton, starring Laura Linney. And we have John Riddle here.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Okay. It's been nice seeing you for 20
Thank
years.
you,
Caitlin, tell us more about our guest, please.
Gladly. Yes, guys, we got John Riddle here with us in the studio today. He is currently in The Phantom of the Opera on the Broadway, which is getting ready for its 32nd anniversary on the Broadway. It's coming up at the end of the month. It's a pretty big deal. It's also the longest running musical on Broadway. You guys may have previously seen John when he originated the role of Hans in Frozen, and he was also in The Visit on Broadway, so he knows a thing or two about what he's doing. Make sure you follow him on social media at the John Riddle, not just John Riddle. He is the John Riddle on Instagram. Follow him there. Leave all of your questions in the comments down below. And everyone, please welcome John and Beth.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Yay!
Hi, Beth.
Hi, the John Riddle.
Hi. I sort of hate that, but John Riddle was taken, so I had to add the.
John Riddle, if you're out there, what's up? Why are you doing this to us?
Can I have it?
How is it over there in The Phantom of the Opera? People often forget the. I just want to say that.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I always say it with a British accent because it feels
Go
right.
ahead.
The Phantom of the Opera. I'm in the Phantom of the Opera.
That's more than a
It just
British
happened.
accent.
Well,
That's a lot.
we do, what do we do in the show? It's called something else. We don't do British accents in the show.
What do you do?
Mid-Atlantic, that's what it was escaping me.
Mid-Atlantic. It's just posh.
Yeah, it's just sort of posh. How is it at the
Yeah, how's it
Majestic?
going?
It's legendary. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. This was the first show I ever saw.
See, I knew that. So last time you were here, you told Paul Wantoric that the first show you ever saw in Toronto, you're from Ohio,
Yeah.
I'm from Ohio, we're from Ohio, was The Phantom of the Opera, and you were like 5. Now, this is
5.
not really a show for a 5-year-old. It's long, it's scary. It's really scary.
I didn't think so.
Okay, tell me about your experience.
Well, I didn't know anything about musicals, but my dad's a woodworker. I've told this story a couple times now, so
Oh,
you're
forget
hearing
it. Don't
again.
tell us then. Just
No, but
forget
but my dad was a woodworker, and he was in his shop, and he heard this commercial for the Phantom of the Opera, and he didn't know what it was. And so for Christmas that year, he said, this sounds like something we should go see. And so he bought us tickets, and we went up to Toronto and saw it. And I sat there the whole entire time at the edge of my seat, didn't say a word. I was wearing a tuxedo too, because that was back in the day when you would dress up to the theater. And I sat there and I turned to him after the show and I said, I want to be an actor.
Wow.
Afterwards. And so I did have a little moment my first night in the show. I was climbing up the ladder with Madame Giry, about to jump off the bridge. I was like, I'm in the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. It's kind of cool, full circle.
So did you have a tuxedo just for that purpose, or did you just have a tuxedo?
That was in the days when I was a
question.
professional ring bearer in every wedding.
I see.
So
So
I
you
had
had
I had a tuxedo, except I think they were all rentals, because my aunt tells this great story where my uncle said, John, that's such a nice tuxedo you're wearing. And I said, it's not a tuxedo, it's a rental, and it has to be back on Monday.
Don't say that, people. That ruins the effect. And now you're in the show you saw
I'm in
when
the
you were
show.
5 that inspired you to be an actor, but you didn't go straight into acting, right? Tell me your trajectory here.
When I was
so you
4,
didn't. Okay, so let's go through each year.
Well, I started as a businessman when I was 5. No.
No, but were you in school plays?
Yeah, I was. So I was in school plays, and my mom put me in piano lessons when I was 5, and I cried for about 7 years, but she made me keep doing it. I had this amazing teacher. Her name was Mrs. Drummond, and I grew up near Oberlin, Ohio, so I had all these.
Famous for the college.
Yeah, famous for the college. And she was a retired professor at Oberlin, so I had this incredible place where I learned how to be a musician. So that's kind of how it started. And then I quit everything when I was in middle school because I played basketball and soccer, and I wanted to be cool.
Yeah, it happens.
So lame. And then in high school, so all that time I was going to be an architect, because in Ohio, I didn't think that nobody was an actor. I didn't think that was a thing.
Right. They don't have any actors in Ohio
Because
at
there's
all.
no actors from Ohio.
0.
And so I was going to be an architect, and up until my junior year of high school, that's what I was going to do. And I saw the national tour of the Light in the Piazza, and I changed my mind.
So you were in school plays, though.
I was in school plays.
Did
I
you
started to do the school plays. My freshman year, I was devastated because I didn't get Billy Bigelow and Carousel.
Oh.
But
Who
I
did?
did play his name was Chill Tanner.
I knew you'd
Shout out
remember.
Chill.
I knew you'd remember.
But I did play the Carnival Boy, and I just saw some footage that just reemerged from the depths of who knows where, from the VHS land. And my ballet, I'm not a dancer
Okay.
of that caliber.
So you don't have to judge yourself, but
Well, I was.
okay.
And then after that, so then my sophomore year, I played Harold Hill in The Music Man,
Wow.
which was,
That's a big leading
my
role.
grandma said, her favorite role that she'd ever seen. Like later in life,
If you
it
get a
was
good
still her
review from
favorite.
Grandma,
Then it's all good.
that's all you need.
And then I did The Odd Couple. We did The Odd Couple and something else. And then my junior year, we did Guys and Dolls, and I played Sky Masterson. And then we did How to Succeed my senior year. And I played, what's his name?
How to Succeed, J.
Yeah.
Pierpont
Yeah,
Finch?
yeah.
This is like a
So that's
trivia
my claim
quiz.
to fame.
So you did a lot.
I did a lot of plays, yeah. And I was still going to actually be an architect. I started the internet, I think, had just come out. And so I was...
And it was fabulous. It's still
yeah.
running.
And so I was researching about colleges, and I, got my list of schools, and I said, if I don't get into any of these good schools, I'm going to go be an architect. And I ended up,
Going to Cincinnati.
yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, no, it's
So-
history. Here I am.
You went from seeing Phantom as a 5-year-old to being in Phantom,
Yeah.
and then you were reignited into the theater, because we're doing our Mid-Atlantic,
That's correct.
with the Light in the Piazza. So you need to be in the Light in the Piazza at some point. Is that
Yeah, I think we
correct?
should bring that back.
Yeah, I
now.
think it's time. It's time. So Phantom is about to have a big birthday.
32, right?
Yeah,
32. Which is older than
So
me.
how are you celebrating?
How are we celebrating? We're going to do it on Broadway.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
Good way.
I thought you had like a personal thing you might be doing.
Oh, no. Maybe there'll be a cake in the hair room or something that we'll do.
Definitely put cake in the hair room, 'cause that's a good
yeah.
combination.
Good combo.
There's always cake in the wig room, which now that you say that does sound
It
sort of
sounds
strange.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, don't get any of Christine's curls in the cake. I don't know. There must be some plan. We'll have to throw a party.
Yeah.
We'll have to throw a birthday
It's a good thing you're not
party.
thinking about this until the last minute. Now,
I'm not in charge.
Ben Crawford is your Phantom.
Yes.
He's our Phantom. He's the world's
He
Phantom.
is
He's the
our
Broadway Phantom.
Phantom, yeah.
He's doing our Broadway.com vlog right now.
Yeah.
Face Off.
Yeah.
He always does a.
Is that
So
what it's called?
Face Off.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Thank you. He came
Clever.
up with it, or I did. One of us did. So, are you enjoying the vlogging backstage? Because I feel like he's doing a bit of gotcha journalism backstage.
He's doing a lot. Like my door swung open on Saturday before the evening show, and it was Ben Crawford with the video camera, and he.
And a ski mask or some
And a
sort,
ski
hockey mask or something.
It's a Star
He's trying
Wars
to. He's trying to. Star
something?
Wars. That's
Yeah.
right. He's trying to cover what you shouldn't
Because
see.
you can't. Yeah.
You
you're
can't
not allowed
the
to see
revelation, the reveal.
The Phantom.
Yeah.
And so, but I had to have a little talk with Ben because
Took him aside.
my dresser, Terence, I love you, but he put me on blast. There was something about my feet on the vlog, and about having bunions.
Well, I don't know if it made it into the vlog, but here it is right now.
I heard it did.
You did?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, thank God.
So Terrence is constantly being frightened by Ben.
Yes.
So that's fun. Well, look out for that.
Yeah.
He seems like a character. There seem like there are a lot of characters backstage
There's
at
a
Phantom.
lot of
and a lot of people that have been there for a really long
Yeah,
time.
Terence, I think, has been there for 13 years. He used to be the Carlotta dresser, and now he's the Raoul dresser. And for Christmas, my Christmas gift to Terence was we have all of our names are on the door. It's very fancy.
Of course.
And they make these very fancy vinyl plaques. And so I had one made for Christmas because at one point, I don't know who it was, but somebody, I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble, but they said, Terence, whose name is on the door? It was one of the
Did you
Raoul's.
say this?
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
just
I would
checking.
never.
Just checking.
But I do say, Terence told me the story. And so there was, every once in a while, a joke. I'll say, Terence, whose name is on the door? And
So there was a Raoul that wasn't in a good mood, is what you're
apparently
saying. A
that
grouchy
way.
Raoul.
Yeah, we don't know
Gotcha.
who it was. It was years and years ago. I'm sure.
Years and years.
And so I would make that joke. And then now for Christmas, I got him a plaque. So his name is now on the door. So now he says, whose name is on the door, John?
You gave him a lot of power.
I did. But that's,
I know that all of you fans, PHANS, which I think you're a PHANS,
Yeah.
PHAN.
full Phantom nerd.
Are you a full
Yeah.
Phantom nerd?
Yeah, I know every word.
You know every word.
Yeah.
Give us your craziest bit of trivia, and then we're going to take your questions because I know you have them.
My craziest bit of trivia? I don't know if I know.
Okay.
Well, I just went on the tour. My whole family came. Well, I had a bunch of people from my hometown, from Cleveland, come to the show on Saturday night. And I took Ben's dresser, Andrew, gives a really fan with a PH-tastic tour. And after the show. And so I took his tour and I learned so much. For example, the jump, spoiler, am I allowed to talk about the jump? When I jump off the
It's fine.
bridge, it's 17 feet. Didn't know that.
Wow.
And I also didn't know that the things around the goblins, what are they called? The gargoyles?
Gargoyles.
Around the
Thank you, Caitlin.
around the proscenium, when the Phantom is on stage or when he does something crazy, the eyes light up.
Oh. Which you
Red.
don't see from your vantage point.
No, but does the audience see that?
If they're looking in that direction, they
Next
do.
time you see Phantom, look for the eyes. I had no idea.
Always something new, even
Yeah.
though it's 32 years old.
Yeah.
Almost. All right, let's take your questions. Caitlin?
Definitely. All right. So Jake wants to know, what was the biggest difference between going from a role that you originated to stepping into a long-running musical like Phantom?
Oh, that was kind of crazy actually, because it was my first experience doing that. But I think it's really fun because you have the blueprint out in front of you, and they say, okay, you have to walk here and walk here and walk here, but then you get to fill in all the blanks. So you kind of the coloring book is already written out, and then you walk in with your box of crayons, and then you color it all in.
That's
kind
a
of how I
beautiful
feel
metaphor.
about it. Oh,
That's
thanks.
beautiful. But no, it's true that it's already there, and you get to make it your own in your own way.
Yeah, and when you're
You're
I've
a
thought
Phantom
about
freak,
this
PH.
for a long time, so you get to actually do it.
So when were you
Color.
first raw? Like when you were in your bedroom listening to Phantom, when did you first decide, oh, this is my role?
Well, I was probably Carlotta first.
Okay.
And then probably Christine after that, and then definitely the Phantom all the time, and then Raoul. I'm Raoul now.
You're Raoul.
I probably never actually played Raoul.
But you started as Carlotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Although
makes
I
sense.
did used to
She's got
sing
a good
the-
costume.
Yeah, she does. And she has all the good songs.
I
Good
love
quote.
it.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, so Jenny wants to know, because this is something that you obviously thought a lot about as a kid, what do you remember most about your first, you're taking your first
Walk us
Broadway
through
bow
your
in
first
Phantom?
moment.
What do you remember from that night?
Stepping out on the majestic stage.
I don't know, because it was weird. I maybe should have been nervous. I wasn't really nervous. I guess I was prepared, but but I think it was that moment when I was climbing up the ladder. I was like, oh, I'm here now. And also, I guess it was the auction, because you come out in the auction and he's Old Man Raoul. I sat in my little wheelchair, and that was kind of cool because I just sit there and look at the audience throughout that whole opening scene. And
Did you see any 5-year-olds in tuxedos out in the audience?
yeah, many.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were rentals.
Full
though.
circle. It's just a rental, though.
I love it. Okay, Constance wants to know, what is it like? What's the audience like? Energy like when you're on stage?
Oh, that's a nice question. It's because it's different. We were talking about Frozen before this. We had a lot of kids in our audiences, and now there are kids at Phantom, but it's more of a. I think it's a lot of tourists that come see our show, but our audiences are really, really wonderful because they, I don't know, a lot of them haven't seen a show before, I think, and so they're
It's
just
a good
sort of
first
like.
show.
Yeah.
And it
then
delivers. It's full
there's
spectacle.
Fire and there's magic,
Yeah.
and they still leap to their feet every night. It's kind of really cool.
So, did a lot of kids come see you in the visit?
Tons of children.
Or were you the kid in the
yeah,
room?
I think I was the kid in the room. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question.
Oh, yes, definitely. Okay, so Ariana wants to know, obviously we get to see a little bit of backstage through Ben's vlog, but tell us the deets about the trio and what you guys act like really back.
The trio.
the trio.
Well, Ben is obviously ridiculous, as you can see from the vlog. But Ben and I have known each other for years. We did a production of Titanic at the Muni together
Wow.
10 years ago.
Wow.
And so we've been buds for years. So that's why I let him get away with talking about my non-existent bunions.
No bunions. Just
Um,
clarifying.
And Megan has just joined the company, and Erin LaCroix also does 2 shows a week as Christine. So it's kind of the trio changes a bit every week, but we always have a moment when I'm coming down as Old Man Raoul, and Ben feeds us gummy bears, and we kind of have a little chat, and I ask them if they're into older men, and then we do the play.
Oh.
That's not creepy at all. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
You're
having me.
a delight.
It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. So thanks.
Guys, if you haven't seen The Phantom of the Opera, I don't know why you're watching, but you need to see The Phantom of the Opera. You've had 32 years, and it's still going strong.
32 more.
32 more.
Years.
I hope
Hey-o.
so.
Yeah.
I hope so. At the Majestic Theater. Caitlin, will you take us on out, please?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single weekday here on Facebook, and you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts by searching for hashtag live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Kingsley Legs all about Little Shop of Horrors.